So what do we do with two angles driving the same quadrants? This is the last part of our controller, being able to rotate our main bone in any direction while translating. Both variables work great in their own sphere, but lack what the other has. If we combine the two, we can have independent direction and orientation and still get a perfect blend. Here's an example. If I'm aligned on a path, I'll still be walking forward. If I'm not aligned to the path, I should be mixing a sidestep in as my angles deviate from the path. What we're looking at is using the path direction as a zero value for the angle, and any rotation away from the path is the deviation angle. In the previous video, I showed you how to get an angle from a translation. This angle is meant to define the path direction. It's also called a tangent. Our tangent is the 0 point. It's always lined up with the animation path. If we're always lined up with the tangent, the forward quadrant should be blending to full power, always walking forward. If we rotate away from tangent, then the corresponding sideways animations should fade in. We're going to make one more adjustment to our expression. That is, we're going to subtract the direction from the path orient variable. This will give us our tangent space, the local space with which we can deviate our angles. So once we're in our tangent space, we'll be walking forward as long as we're lined up with the path direction. The minute we rotate away, we go into a sidestep or backwards walk. So go to path orient and remove the pi divided by 2. We need the raw radian values coming out of that to combine with direction. So insert path orient directly into our direction variable. Just type in minus path orient. Make sure the spelling is correct. And it's all within these parentheses, so their raw radian values will subtract, and if they happen to be over pi, they'll get wrapped with the EP wrap pi, and then we normalize it into range with our pi divided by 2 so that we can drive these quadrants correctly. Also, in the program drivers, we're going to change that path orient back to the direction control and turn it back on. So now, as we move around, we haven't rotated anything yet, so we are deviating from the tangent. Our rotations are fading in other animations because we're not lined up with the path. So to test the work, I'm going to, scale that. Let's delete these keyframes so we have something a little bit bigger to work off of here. Frame 0. And let's find a better view to show you. Let's go to a top view. And look at our main. Main, from frame 1, just move it to frame 60 off at an angle. We go to frame 1, rotate that so that it is lined up with the tangent. Same thing here, rotate this so it's lined up with the tangent. And you can see, as long as we're lined up with the tangent, we are always going to play the forward animation. So this forward animation is going to always play. He's always going to walk forward, and he's going to stay playing the forward track no matter how far we go. Now let's jump into a sidestep by moving this without rotating it. And this represents a deviation from tangent, in which case he's going to be walking right, which turns into the left walk animation. So as he walks, we fade into the left walk, but the minute we rotate back to tangent, he goes to the front walk. So this is how we can get our independent rotation and movements. The corresponding quadrant fades to represent the proper animation to be played, and it looks like it works correctly. So let's kill these keyframes on our main object here. Let's go to File, and we are going to save this scene again and integrate it into the ANT file.